afternoon, everyone. It's West Ham Irons channel. It's the West Ham transfer news show with Jazz. Like I said, or I think I said, it's been a week since I did the show. So yeah, a few things have gone on. I went to the Bournemouth game at the ground. Very nice day out. Very good seats. In terms of the game, bit of up and down, wasn't it? But listen, I told you guys, you can't hit the ground running 100% in everything, right? We beat Crystal Palace. I think we had to win that game after our defeat at Villa. A draw wasn't good enough. We did that. We've won another game. In terms of the performance, the skill for football you guys want, the entertainment you want, we will get there. Slowly but surely we'll get there. You can see, including today's show, what it's about. You can see all the good things we have done already in the transfer window. We're still trying to do on this ultimate day, which is deadline day, which closes at 11. And it's a long process. You saw a lot of players in that Bournemouth game that could be heading out the door today, likely to be heading out the door today. So, yeah, you're going to get that. It's going to take time. But I think I've seen more than enough of the manager, the backroom staff, of how the players are feeling, what we're trying to do, the substitute management, formation rotations, player rotations. I've seen more than enough to remain very, very happy, upbeat and confident. But yeah, it's going to be a bit like that, I told you guys, but it will be long term. We'll be going in that direction. It will be going up, but as you're going up, it's going to be a bit of that. And when it goes a little bit like that, then just stick with it, be positive, and that's the main thing, right? There's no need to sort of any panic to be set in or really have a go at anyone or any things like that. Just stick with it. And things will be good, really. Apart from that, obviously the Carabao Cup draw, the so-called Krupp fixed draw, we were away to Liverpool, so the draw, the establishment that runs it, it's an absolutely disgrace. I feel that low about the Carabao Cup now. I can't see a future for it, apart from next 2-3 years. I can't see that Carabao Cup carrying on, because you can see from the Champions League draw yesterday, which I sat for an hour, and afterwards I didn't know what the hell they're trying to do, right? So Super League will happen. The Super League will happen. In what form it happens, I don't know. Whether there's 36 teams, I think, in the Champions League. They've added 4 or 5 extra. I don't know if that'll go up and up. And then, domestic leagues are going to suffer. Domestic cups are going to suffer. So they will get their Super League in one way or another. How they can slip it through under the carpet without the fans finding out, I don't know. But Carabao Cup's a joke. Champions League format's a joke. But the good thing is, again, you got to weigh up by saying good is, thank God the deadline day's today, closes at 11 o'clock. And at least it isn't a match day today. So in the past, deadline days happen when we're playing, and that's not really been good for any of the managers or players, really. So lots to get through today. I'm only 4 subscribers away from 3,000 subs. So we're virtually there. So I want to thank you for all my lol viewers. I saw a few on match day, so good to see some of you. So I had a good chat with a few of them. But keep subscribing, keep watching, and I know I'm meant to bring more and more shows, but I just get so busy in my private corporate job. I get so busy. I will always try my best. I always carry on, but it just, things get in the way. So I am a bit behind other channels. I can't do 2-3 shows a day, right? But I will try to do as many as I can. And sometimes I can manage 2 a day, very rarely, but I'm trying, but it is what it is. It's very, very hard. But anyway, enough of the Bournemouth game, enough of the Champions League, UEFA guys, enough of the Carabao Cup, corrupt people that run that. Let's get positive. So what should we start off with, everyone? What should we start with? It's got to be Carlos Soler, isn't it? So what shall I put on the screen to share with you guys. First, it's got to be that, isn't it? It's got to be that. It's Daddy Fabrizio Romano. Here we go, confirmed. Carlos Soler to West Ham. Loan deal with buy option clause. Agreed with PSG. I think he's on the way. Well, definitely he's on the way to London for a medical. West Ham will cover the salary as part of the agreement. So again, I mean, so here's the thing. Again, richest league, Premier League, UK British Premier League teams getting their, I don't want to say getting their pants pulled, but we're going to go into it in a bit more. But looks like every sort of loan player that Premiership team, certainly West Ham, get rid of, we have to pay the wages still, or half of them. But then abroad, we have to cover all of them. And I think loan deals, you have to cover the loan deals, the salary, I would have felt, because you're not paying the main fee, are you, as such? But looks like some clubs are, financial fair play has got them in a tight situation and corner, that not only have they got no money to pay any kind of fee to make the transfer permanent, they don't want to pay the salary either. So you're so desperate to get some of the players out that we're going to talk about. You've virtually got to pay half or more. So it is what it is, and it's a shambles. It's a shambles. But that's kind of with him. We're going to go into his stats very quickly. I will do a separate show in terms of a deep dive analysis of him, how he'll fit in. This show is purely about the transfer news and just doing a quick overlay of what the players are about, really. So let's see what I've got there. No, I didn't want to look at that. I've got so many bloody things to look at. I didn't want to look at that either. Where are you, matey? There we go. So Carlos Soler, 27, going to be 28 in January. Place of birth, Valencia, was born there, played for the team. Central midfield, everyone. 14 caps for Spain at full level and 4 goals. Bloody hell, goal every 3, not bad, eh? His contract expires 2027. 20 million is his market value. I don't know any of the numbers around a lot of the deals I'm going to talk about right now. Sufficient to just say it's going to be a lot of these going out and in is a loan to perm. I don't know what the obligations are. I'm sure that'll be clarified over the coming hours and days, really, with that one. Yeah, so predominantly central midfield, everyone. Few games on the wing, but no. Just think of him, of what footage I've seen of him. It's kind of, he's a player who's going to be a type of player you're going to see more and more at West Ham under Lopetegui. This is a West Ham team that's kind of it's going to be technically very, 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 very high and efficient on a technical level, like a Barcelona foreign team that's very, very good on the eye. Find it very easy to keep possession for large amounts of the game. Very comfortable with both feet. Can pass it left, right, short, long. Can dictate the play. And it's a very, very important position, like I said. I know we've got a lot of wingers, we've got a few strikers, got loads of defenders now, but for the Lopetegui mean machine to really kick on, and for you guys in the stands to really be impressed with it, which up to now, I know it's been up and down, but we've won the majority of the games, to be fair, but it's not quite slick. It was never going to be that quick. You can't go from one kind of extreme to the other. It takes time, but the central midfield position is pivotal, right? Looks like he doesn't want to play 4-2-3-1, which for me is odd because it means Somerville doesn't fit in anywhere then. A lot of teams, and we've done it, 4-1-4-1. Yeah, a bit odd. I think it's going to be 4-3-3 long term for Lopetegui, a bit like Wolves, right? And Arsenal. And that's where Carlos Soler fits in. 4-1-4-1 if he plays alongside. But what it is, one thing is very, very clear. We know the formations roughly, don't we? He's going with 4-1-4-1, but during a game, especially when the subs come on like Somerville, then it can be 4-2-3-1. And long term, he wants 4-3-3, right? That's absolutely clear, easy to talk about. What isn't easy to talk about is start thinking about which team's going to start every game, right? So don't worry about what team will start every game because, like I said, 25 people in the squad, he's going to use every player to the maximum in terms of cup games, substitutions, game to game. He might feel he needs to change it depending on the opposition, depending on how the training sessions have gone, depending on their physical condition. So the good thing is the opposition won't really know the formation 100%. So up to now, especially me, I've been surprised that Souček is a regular. And to be fair, he's done all right. But when we switch to one or two other formations with Carlos Soler coming in, I think it's going to change game to game, right? So I'm not going to sit here and say Souček is going to drop out for Carlos Soler. I can't say that for sure. I can't. All I can tell you, it's a brilliant squad. Like I keep saying, we've got many, many players per position, minimum 2. And from that, the manager's going to select it, the starting team. And he'll do the subs as well, which will be a good 4-5 as you know what he's been doing, right? So sufficient to say that after this window closes, most of the players that are going to be left in the squad, apart from Danny Ings, I think we'll come to that bit later on, they're going to be in his Lopetigui's plans. He wants them here. He's going to use them. Apart from 1 or 2, we'll talk about that, right? So I don't think we need to worry about which players are going to start every game, which are not, because I don't think there's going to be 100% consistency over that. The only things I can think of is Bowen's probably going to play every game. Kudus is going to play every game. And a couple of others. For the rest of them, it's going to be rotation, right? So that's kind of what I'm thinking. Going back to Carlos Soler, central midfield, very, very technically good on the eye. He receives the ball from defence. He's got good acceleration to start the play. He can start off all the plays. So we've got all these players that when our goalkeeper receives the ball, he's going to have so many options. Because you're going to begin to see, if you haven't already, how good Kilman is with the ball at his feet. Glimpses of Todiba, what we've seen. Main strength. Weird, isn't it? Main strength of a central defender is setting up attacks, right? So you're going to see football that's going to be fairly quick, I think, from back to front. What's been missing up to now, I know, is creativity in the centre of the midfield. We're trying to address that, right? And then Soler and central midfield will knit it all together, hopefully, right? We'll come to Ward-Prowse in a minute, but people like that have been struggling to kind of create a lot, like we saw at the Bournemouth game, really. But Soler is technically very, very good. Happy to receive it, deep in the clear. If he receives the ball and he's been tightly marked, he'll be comfortable with it. He's strong enough to bring it out, lay it off, not lose it, right? And like I said, if we're struggling, I think he can keep the ball. He can slow the game down, and vice versa. If we need to score a goal to get back in the game, he can speed it up. He can spread the ball quickly to the wingers, right? So he's going to be quite important in that important cog in the middle. And slightly different to Souček as box-to-box goal grabber. Alves Rodriguez, who are your kind of solid CDM. So some different mix of a player. Bit like Bishop, bit like Moncur, bit like Banyun, bit like Berkovic. Think of him like that, right? So really, really good addition. And obviously being from Spain, the manager knows him. The language thing has helped. And that kind of thing, really. Games, before we go into it, have a look at that grid on the right. That tells you all the games he's played in his career and at what position and goals and assists. Central midfield, 143 games, everyone. 27 goals, 16 assists. Wow. Right side of midfield, everyone. 89 games, 11 goals, 18 assists. So lots and lots of goals, lots of assists across that midfield, everyone. In terms of, has he been playing regularly for PSG? He kind of has. He's played 24 games. Kind of last year, couple of goals, couple of assists, couple of Champions League games in there, 26 the year before, and then Valencia before that, 32 games a year for them. So Valencia, he's doing extremely well, playing 30 odd games and getting a goal every 3 games. That's amazing. PSG, the goals dried up a bit. Listen, PSG is one of those teams where careers for a lot of players dry up. I mean, Kehrer was kind of there, wasn't doing much. And I know Kehrer's a different level of kind of player, but it does dry up for some players, really. It just happens, you know. You got people like Odegaard, I think they'd signed him from Real Madrid to their Arsenal, if I'm from right, and Martinelli from Barcelona, Madrid. I can't remember, but yeah, sometimes those players do really well in their local leagues. They join a huge club and don't quite get the games and don't quite fit into the system. But clubs like West Ham come in and hopefully kind of hedge their bets that they will go back to the importance and form that they had before they made their big moves. But this is different. He's been all right. He's not been a hardcore flop at PSG, nothing like that. He's been all right. But obviously PSG, club like that with a lot of money every year, they've got different ideas. They've got a huge turnover of players, isn't it? So that's kind of on that one. So yeah, highly technical, very, very good. And I see Carlos Soler joining in Bowen, Kudus, Kilman. Who else? Basaka. As the people that are going to consistently play all the games. They're going to be pivotal, foundation style. For the rest of them, I'm not too sure. They might be in and out, play a couple of games, get swapped over again, which is kind of what the big teams do. They're so-called big teams do, isn't it? So that's kind of on that. Let's jump on to the other news. Like I said, there's a fair bit to get through. Yeah, before we get into it, there's a nice summary from Sean Whetstone from Claret and Hugh. Very, very accurate. He's a very, very renowned, important source like our beloved ex-employee. Again, he's just summing up that Kurt Zouma expected to complete his loan move to the Saudi Pro League, with West Ham picking up a percentage of his wages. Good luck, Zouma, on that. Cornet is expected to complete his loan move to Southampton with an option to buy and a Premier League survivor bonus in the deal. So I wasn't sure if Cornet was going to go, but yeah, it's good for him. And let's see what happens. Hopefully he gets his career back on. He played in most of the games in pre-season. I think the injuries have taken a toll. I think mentally it's probably taken a toll. Hopefully he gets back to why we signed him at Burnley, things like that. So let's see what happens. But Southampton, I think, are going to struggle. So he's going to have his... Yeah, it's going to be hard for him, but we'll see what happens. He joins Downs, really, with that one. Agurd. I ain't got no time for Agurd, you know that. I'm sorry, I got no time for him. I think he came in with a lot of promise. We spent 33 million euros on him. And I think he kind of believed his hype. Huge. I mean, I remember like when we went live with him, I did all these shows. My live chat were full of fans from Morocco. Rightly so, giving it the big one that he's this, he's that, he's that, he's this. And I said, I hope he is. And I had really high hopes for him because I saw the first couple of games. And I know his Europa opposition's a bit up and down. I saw Tony Gale in him. He was happy to receive the ball from the goalkeeper. Very, very good. I think predominantly left-footed, if I remember. Very, very good with the ball at his feet. Very comfortable. Very good, accurate passing. But then when it came down to the defending, oh my God, the guy just couldn't defend. He couldn't mark anyone. He couldn't anticipate the danger. He had no levels of concentration. And this was game after game, time after time. And then it got so bad, I got a feeling, listen, I could be wrong, but up to about November, December, it got to a point where he was shit. I think the fans were giving it a bit. I don't think he wanted to play. I think something happened in the background. There was rumours from inside the club that he was, especially when the African thing started, because leading up to the African tournament, Nations, not sure the correct name is, he was kind of well off form, and then he kind of just said, I'm injured. He said he had a cold. He was away for many, many weeks from not playing for West Ham, not even being on the bench, for saying I got a cold. And I fucking knew what was going on more. I thought, fucking got no time for this shit, right? As soon as that Morocco, Africa, he got selected. He fucking fucked off on a plane straight for that tournament from a guy who's missed a number of weeks for playing for West Ham, saying I got a cold, I'm not well, shit form, goes off to play for Morocco, played in every fucking game, comes back, shit form again, then he goes missing again, right? And now he's fucking around, right? Listen, that's fine. You sit there, we'll pay you. You got your contract, like all you guys in the chat and the comments going to say, he's got a contract, we got to pay him, all right? But I just think he's a fucking idiot, the bloke. I think he's got a bit of a big head. I think he's a shit player. We don't need him as a backup. We do not want any shit average players as a backup. Either you're good or you're not, fuck off, right? So we're trying to get some money back, but he's been saying no to a lot of clubs. He's waiting for a big club to come in for him. Which big club, bigger than West Ham, is going to come in for him? Does he want to play in the Champions League? Does he? Mate, you can't defend, mate. Forget it. So hopefully we'll get rid of him and fuck off, right? But he's making it hard. See what happens. Ward-Prowse, completely different kettle of fish. Very, very nice gentleman. Great, great pro. It's just getting on a bit in age, and the way we want to play, it's hard for him. So I hope it works out for him at Forest. It's another loan deal. And we'll see what happens, really. We saw Ward-Prowse against Bournemouth. Yeah, not quite creative enough from open play, I think. But very, very useful. I think he's going to be good at Forest. But then I don't want these comments saying, oh, we didn't know how to use him. Look, he's doing better over there. Listen, every player suits every club differently. We want to play. One thing we shouldn't do, unless it's an exception, is change the way we play according to one or two players. The manager's got philosophy. He's got to follow that with loyalty. Then he sets up the formation according to that. Then he buys the players according to that. So some players are not going to fit it. It's not the other way around. And you shouldn't force players to play in that formation. The worst thing that we've done, which we've done with Danny Ings and Ward-Prowse, is maybe Ward-Prowse from set pieces was a David Moyes type of player, I don't know. But long term, him and Ings just didn't really fit in, I don't think. Having said that, no, Ward-Prowse was alright last season, but he's not going to fit into Lopetigui's plans, nor is Danny Ings. Danny Ings is the one that's really worrying. There's not even hardly any interest in him. 150,000 a week or close to. And he's the one of the two that, if he remains, the only one or two left in the squad, that's not going to play. He's not going to play, not even from the bench. We'll see what happens. So that's kind of Sean's wrap up before we go into one or two other things. Yeah, that was just a Cornet thing, isn't it? Yeah, said his goodbyes this morning, like Ward-Prowse. So good luck, mate. Good chap. Never put his head down. Always available for selection. Well, most of the time, but always tried. And he could have gone a bit the other way, but that's that. And this is the Agurd in details, refusing an offer from Saudi Arabia. Good money, good fee for us. And then some other players have come in, Villarreal, Real Sociedad, and Fiorentina were linked with him this morning. So plenty of choices. He has to be a proper arse with a capital A if he doesn't go proper. And his name's A as well, isn't it? So fuck off. Anyway, Carney, let's look at him, mate. Let's look at him. Right, where are we? Carney, Chukwuemeka. Central midfield, but he's a winger. He's a left winger. 15 million in the market. Signed from Villa. We've been linked with him. So let's just go through his stats, isn't it? Let's just go through his stats. Yeah, there we go. Signed from Villa for 18 million euros around a couple of years ago. And then, hang on, we did that, didn't we? Let's go through one or two of the others. Attacking midfielder, central midfielder, left midfield. He scored a goal against West Ham. He scored a goal. I think it was last season, can't remember. He cut in as a sub, banged it in. I think it was last year. So he scored a goal at London Stadium. Got a few games here and there in Premier League. Not too many. Don't know where he would quite fit in, because when he's played for Chelsea, he's come in as a winger, cutting in, very, very fast, dynamic. Do we need him? I don't know. I just trust. I think the feeling is if the Carlos Soler deal doesn't happen for some reason, then we'll go in for this guy. But there's no way. Well, I don't think he's coming in if Carlos Soler's coming in. It's a bit of a backup plan there, everyone. Loan deal. What else was there? Cornet we've done. Carney, yeah, ex-employee confirming isn't certain due to Carlos Soler. Would depend on the players leaving the club. So I think we've done a really, really good window in bringing players in that the manager wanted, and I think we're really, really aggressively doing quite well to kind of some players to leave who are not going to fit in, and the worst thing you can do is just stay in the squad not doing anything. So good few players on the way out, really. So yeah, I'll try to do another show later on if something finalises, but Carlos Soler is going to be very, very important piece. Such an important piece that I think his status within the manager and as a player starting every game, he's going to join that elite group of Kudus, Bowen, Basaka, Kilman, and perhaps Todibo in time will join that. So 5-6 will start every game. He'll be one of them, and then it's up to the rest if they can win a spot in a team depending on their form and all the other things I said, which is great, isn't it? So going forward, we will not really know 100% the 11 starting week to week, game to game, which is good. Before I close off, I'm just going to refresh the main Sky Sports window page and see if something's come in terms of other clubs. I think there's news from ex-employee in terms of Carney from Chelsea. Manchester United are keen on him, and it's described as unlikely he goes there or West Ham for now. The club could be exploring a last-minute centre-back deal, but as it stands, Agüerd is still a West Ham player, and it will depend on that. I thought we might go back in for Chelsea for one of their other centre-backs, but we'll see what happens. Yeah, looks like Tony's going Saudi Arabia. Make what you will out of that. Chelsea still trying to sign Victor Osimhen. See what happens. He could be going Saudi as well. Ipswich are in talks with Armando Broja. He's failed a medical, isn't he, Broja? It's not looking good for him. 22 years old. Went to same primary school as my kids, same class as my daughter. Last couple of years been a nightmare. To that effect that he can't pass medicals comfortably. Really, really bad. Financially lucky for him. Before this all started, he is in the middle of a really nice, healthy 4 or 5 year contract. So financially, he's in a good situation, but playing wise, it's not happening. It's not happening. Oh wow! Crystal Palace manager has confirmed their captain Mark Guehi. He's staying. Wow, I thought he's going Newcastle 70 million. So good on you, Palace. You wanted 70 instead of the 50-55, and you dug your heels in. And the player, very professional, played against us. Looks a very, very good character. Good for you, mate. Good for you. Forest are doing a few things. Yeah, like I said, Ward-Prowse medical, and they're after 2-3 other players. Spurs are not signing anyone. We've been linked with Giovanni Lo Celso. He's a bastard, isn't he? But I don't know how he can fit in. But we've suddenly been linked with all these players from Spain, Portugal, South America since Lopetigui's coming. That's kind of understandable, really. Eddie Nketiah, he's moving on, and he's a right player. But I think, yeah, as long as Arsenal sort of ask for reasonable money. Ramsdale's gone to Southampton. See how he does there. I think he's half decent. He's all right. Sancho, Chelsea, few links here and there. So it's a deadline day where we're kind of very comfortable. We've done all the hard work early on, like a really good, professional, well-run transfer recruitment department team does, which we've done, and now we're where we're trying to get people out the door, and hopefully it works out. We'll end up with a really good 25-man squad that's good to start every game, good competition across the board, and we start our difficult target and journey to try to qualify for Europe if we can. Cups, listen, I always told you the cups is about the draw, the luck. So I love to go in a cup draw, cup run, but it's not in anyone's hands, right? Like I said, you can draw Liverpool, Man City, and it's over. It's not in our hands. So I'm not really going to go down that route. It'll be nice, yeah, if the draw's a bit kind. Of course, it'll be good if one of the good teams in there. But that's kind of not for me to say. But league is something you can control. It's over and so we'll see what happens. But anyway, I'm going to give your afternoon back to you, and we'll catch up shortly. And hopefully, when I go live again or do a show again, I'll be 3,000 subs.